So this is my first time streaming in a very, very, very long time. My first time ever doing art on a live stream. I've only done gaming, and that was like I don't even want to say how long ago because I'm a freaking dinosaur. Appropriate that I make so many dinosaur cartoons, but here we go. As I had mentioned in the announcement video, I wanted to do some live streaming of the creative process of my dream project, Bushy Tales. Who knows if it'll be a just a single short film or a pilot for a bigger series. But yeah, so today I have three characters. The three main characters. I got Bushy here, Bushy the Fox, Corkscrew, one of his buds, and then his best bud, Sheila. And so right now I have like their primary, sort of like the main angles you'd use for them. They're 3/4 angles, but to make them more three-dimensional, and I thought it'd be good to have some other angles. So probably the most important one is for head turns. Might as well have a front angle, and then or if they move their bodies. So I'm gonna start with Sheila. And then if we have enough time, so I'll probably keep this stream a little shorter because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, then if we get done with Sheila, then we'll move on to Bushy and Corkscrew. So let's go. So I've got the Sheila file open here, and so I'm just looking at your comments real quick. Yeah, it has been a long time since I did live stream. Go back to animating in the old Flash programs. I wish I could. I don't know what the heck happened. I had Flash CS4, and this is the Creative Cloud version of Flash. It's called Animate, but it basically is just Flash. So it's the closest I can get. If I can get a copy of Flash CS4, hey, I'll go back to it. But anyways, back so. Stay on target here. So I'm going to create a separate file from Sheila. This is like the 3/4 angle, like kind of the main angle. You'd see like in most shows they love their 3/4 angles. And I'm going to create a new file. And I already pasted in here. So I have three. You'll see down here at the bottom. I have 3 layers. This is the 3/4 angle of Sheila will be my reference file. And then so I'm going to kind of just, first off, just do like a sketch over it with this like a bright color that I can like easily see, like red, of what the front angle should look like. And then once I have that, I'll use that to then do like a polished version with like the rigging and the coloring and everything. So why don't we just jump right into it? I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to typically start the eyes. So let's see. This is just rough, so I'm just gonna be like sketching, just like sketchy. Now, try to make her eyes probably more the same size because I have the right one on the 3/4 angle kind of smaller because distance and all that. The eye that's a little further away would be smaller, but I mean I still don't know if these are equal, but whatever, it's a cartoon, just have fun. And I'll make some edits as I go on. That's why I'm doing this sketch version. So and then her mouth, so her nose kind of like pops up a little bit above her eyes, so I'll kind of go like that, and then her mouth gets smaller as it gets to the chin at the bottom. It still feels a little... I guess that feels right. I feel like it's going over the eyes too much. I don't know. Have the nose pop up a little bit more. It's so weird sometimes, I'm making parodies, it's of course like my own like versions of... Oh wait, I have my line stroke size. I like the smallest stroke size with the pen tool. Okay, so 0.1. And while I'm at it, the bucket tool is set to fill. So when I first open Animate or Flash every time, what I really like to do is to it automatically likes to put the stroke size of the pen tool as 1, and I like to lower that to the smallest size, 0.1. And then your bucket tool, which fills color, it tends to automatically go to this don't close gaps, and I always switch that immediately to close large gaps. Though we're not going to be doing any color yet, but just something of note. Okay, so her eyes. I'm probably gonna make some adjustments because things are already feeling off here, but I feel like her face is like way too small. Actually, I'm gonna like go back. I don't like this. I mean, line density. Okay, I'm gonna go back and redo the face here. I feel I want her to have like a huge mouth. I want her to still look like a cute character, even though she's got a lot of sass. Once we get to animating and you hear the voice in the script, she's a sassy gal. So I'm just reading some comments real quick, just taking a step. Oh, thank you for a person who said this looks peak. You know, make more a Roblox musical by Michael Zombies, perhaps. Hey, once I'm done with this animated short, you know, I'm going right back to the musicals. Unless you people just love this just so insanely much that they want more of this one than the musicals. But I know that, you know, I got to stay true to the whole reason that I'm, you know, even able to have money to take time off the musicals, you know, and take a chance with this. And so that's all thanks to you guys and loving the musicals. So I'm still taking requests for musicals. I'm not forgetting about those. It's just sort of like, it's sort of like going on a vacation. I'm making this. Alright, there's her nose. Just kind of erase a little bit these trash lines here. Now, I'm just figuring out how her mouth works from the front's gonna be interesting. You think about it. You think about a lot of shows like Family Guy, The Simpsons. I'm not saying that this is the same thing or to that level or anything, but I mean, you know, and not even just like, you know, semi-adult shows like that, like SpongeBob. A lot of them. I mean, like the large majority of the shots are 3/4 angles, but these front angles are really important. What's up with the Call of Duty Ghost musicals? Still on Spotify, not available on YouTube. Yeah, that was a copyright issue for the person asking why they're like not available on YouTube, but they're on Spotify. That's the other thing too. You know, if an original series does work, you know, for the long term, it gives me more stability because you know, there's a lot of legal issues. I mean, parody is supposed to be, you know, completely legal and protected by fair use, but you know, ultimately, let's be real here. Like, whoever has the bigger lawyer wins, and big musical artists and big IP franchise have more money and better lawyers, and I'm not going to waste my time sitting in court, but but yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, they can go ahead and take the monetization, but when they take my work down, that's just seems like not just unfair, but just like dumb on their part. It's like free advertising for their IP, basically. Alright, I'll finish her head before I move down to the front. Her eyes, and I don't even really need to do this. The most important thing is I just get the shape of the front angle. I don't know if red was like the right color to do. It's kind of like blowing my eyes out. It's an overlay. I'm just being picky right now. You know, sometimes you're just feeling a little grumpy, easily triggered by the bright red color. It's cool. Thank you all for showing up. Seriously, it's like it's so cool to just sit and like work and like have you all here like, while I'm doing it, not just sit alone in the darkness for hundreds of hours just to finally show you a 2-minute snippet and done. Though I know this is not nearly as entertaining as that, but I know there's some of you that definitely sure interested in the creative process, and I just think it's cool to have this, especially something original like this. You know, if it does become something, it'd be cool to have the origins documented. Should her eyeballs? All right, hang on. I'm just gonna like turn off the reference sketch. Like, I'm wondering if her eyeballs should be like bigger than the head, or it's kind of like freaky right now. I'm not even gonna like judge it till I finish her ears. Blue X Ghost the musical. Oh, like Blue versus Ghost the musical for Jurassic World Dominion. Eric Baum, I see you. Alright. That'd be pretty cool actually, like a rap battle. Atrociraptor versus Ghost the Atrociraptor versus Blue the Velociraptor. She turns her head. I'm just trying to see if you see the camera, so I'm like, we have a slight delay, so I can't see like what you see. She turns her head this way. Just trying to think, like the left ear would actually like start to become slightly smaller, and then the right ear would start to become slightly bigger as it comes closer to the foreground. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I think that's good. I think I made her freaking eyes a little bit too big, though. Well, just make the inner line here. Again, this is why I do the sketch and I just don't go straight into like just the rigging and the final thing right away. I still think, yeah, her right ear's looking a little bit small. Oh my god, thank you so much for the, can't believe somebody actually donated something. That's, what if, so, Miso MP4, what if Banana Guy turns out, wants to turn the island into a metropolis and use it for industrial works, and now they have to fight back to keep their island safe. Love the designs, by the way. Delta musical update. Okay, Delta in the musical. I was thinking until all the chapters were done, so that was kind of where I was at right now. In terms of your suggestion for the story, it's actually funny. Did you get a copy of my script? Because it's not exactly what Miso MP4 said, but it's the plot of the pilot is almost exactly what you said. He doesn't want to turn into a metropolis, but if I hadn't written the script yet fully, I would actually like use that entire idea like that. I almost think that's better than what I've written. And thank you again, by the way, for the donation. That's really, 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 really kind. That's really generous. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate you, any of you, just being here. But it's hard to make money, and so it's really just really kind. Thank you so much. Someone said something about how long it takes to make animations. I mean, it depends. Musical. This is taking a bit longer than the musicals. Getting dialogue driven narrative to I think I'm also just not nervous, but I've wanted to do an original series for so long, or I mean, even not just a series, just like a short for so long that I just really don't want to like. That's not even that I don't want to mess it up. It's like the more I work on it, the more I just keep coming up with stuff. All right, now right now with her horns, because okay, so Sheila is an impala. That's what she's like meant to be. It's not even. Actually, no, she does reveal it in the pilot and the dialogue. So they have these like horns, and I'm just. That's kind of off there. What I just did. That's more or less the gist of it, but I'm just gonna turn her head. So I think then this one probably slightly come up more like that, and then probably try to just no. Actually, what am I saying? That one should go more to the left. Well, thank you so much, Mr. 2007 YT, for the donation as well. It's really, really kind of you. Hand drawn or digital? I mean, I'm drawing with my hand, but digitally. But I love hand drawing more. But animating hand drawn. I've done some like uh, back in college. I did some hand drawn animation, like a different sheet of paper, shot on a down camera for like every single frame, and it's incredibly rewarding, but it takes forever. But I've been doing a lot of sketches for this. All of these designs, like Sheila, Corkscrew, Bushy, basically everything for this project I have done based on sketches that I did previously. Let me find. I'll just pull an example up real quick since you ask. What the heck? Like here's some pencil paper sketches I did for Bushy before. Okay, since I'm doing Sheila, let me see if I got some on hand. There's nothing like the feeling of like pencil or just ink on paper. Sometimes for the musicals, for timing, I just go straight into digital, but occasionally I don't. For for Undertale Yellow, I sketched every single character on paper first. Sorry, I'm screwing up here. Sorry, did I just say Deltarune? For Undertale Yellow, I did every character. I hand sketched everything, and then I traced my own sketches digitally. I think I had this thing where, yeah, if you press J, it'll turn this thing where every line gets turned into like a symbol, and I always do that by accident. It's a big pain in the rear. I think I'm not making her horns big enough. This front angle. Dang, flab it. Okay, yeah, and see, now it's happening again. With the you see what I'm saying? Turned it into a symbol. If you know your Adobe. Speaking of Adobe, I for those of you who are also animate a lot on these programs, thank the Lord that they did not discontinue Flash Animate. I mean, I always call it Flash. It's weird to call it Animate. I cannot believe they were thinking about doing that. That is insane. And I am so grateful. It's not that I'm like not willing to use any other programs. It's just I have been using Flash for such an insanely long time that it would be like if I had to just, I want to say learn another language. I mean, I speak French fluently, and I've always been bilingual. But if I only spoke one language my whole life, and then suddenly like I had to learn a new language, but I didn't even have like the old language with which to reference. Like they just like. I don't know why I'm overthinking these. This is like the last. I was not expecting her horns to like get me all so screwy. Does that look weird to you? She's turned. Oh, so let me back it up. I think I need to spread them apart more. I'm spreading them apart more. I'm gonna try to. I think I got the shape more or less right, but I'm gonna spread them apart. So I'm gonna do something that I don't get to do with pencil and paper. I'm just gonna Spookiopath thinks the eyes are killing it just a little. What do you mean they're killing it? Like they're too big or they're too small? Spookiopath, tell me. Tell me, Spookiopath. The head is good, but I think the eye. Oh, okay. The eyes are too big. All right, I'm gonna make the eyes a bit smaller. Someone just wrote too big. Who was it? Oh, Noah boy. I ate boy. Can I scroll down? Yes, here. You're right. Let me just back it up. Let me just. Okay, I'm quickly gonna fix the horns and then let's talk about the eyes. So that's what I was hoping this would be. I was hoping that like. Thank you so much for your feedback. Like you're all part of this. Like I'm not alone making this. I better find out now that something's screwy than long after it's too late. But all right, let me just finish the horns and I'm gonna back it up and talk about the eyes. All right, I'm zooming out. Zoom out more. 100. All right. I think her horns are off too. Because I made her horns get thicker, like around the center. And here they're just kind of like all the same size. Yeah, you're right. Her eyes are like way too big. They're freakier than hell. What tablet am I using? I am using a Wacom 22 or 23X. I believe. It is a Wacom tablet. You think the horns look okay? Said RBXTY, I believe. Yeah, I mean, look, her eyes fit half her head, but they're big in the 3/4 angle. But you're right, like it's like, yeah, they're just too dang big here. All right, I'm gonna make them smaller. Let's do some cosmetic surgery here, fellas. All right, scalpel, eraser. Let's tone them down. Let's tone them down. I almost want to like do it while the old version is still there, so I have like some kind of like reference. Like that. Yeah, I'm thinking that's alright, boys. What do you think, lads? A little bit better, eh? She's looking a little bit less sort of like an alien and more like it's like a normal cartoon character. It's not supposed to make children have nightmares. Okay, those are smaller. But are they still too big? So, that to that. What do y'all think? Well, though, Mr. 2007 YouTube YT, will there be voice actors in the show? For the pilot, it's actually just Whitney and I doing a bunch of different voices. But if we get a full-blown series, I definitely have some like more professional voice actors in mind. I would really like to get involved. Ron, thank you so much for the donation. You asked, or no, it says Ron, at T-Rex. Why can I not see your name? Anyways, in a world infected by AI, you're one of the soldiers keeping the human creation alive. Oh, thank you. Also, background music would be nice. This is $5 Romanian dollars. Well, thank you so much. Hey, anything, like even penny. I mean, it's just even just your time. I mean, time is the most valuable asset, even more than money. But well, that's up for debate. But show us how the flashlight asks how you mask the pupils to. Keep them inside the eyes. So when I mask, like, I assume what you're asking. So just someone else said something. I want to before there's too many comments. Try moving the pupils closer to the middle of the face. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. They seem a bit bug-eyed. I mean, that's something I can do later, but yeah, okay. Yeah, it's kind of like looking derpy. I like that. The question about masking the pupils. What I assume you're asking is, in certain shots, like, the character will be like looking out like that. I actually like don't mask them. I'll just go through, and then for the frames in which they're outside, I will literally just manually go and erase. I'm just doing like a quick like rough crappy version right now, but like I will literally just manually like erase them out. I mean, there's probably a better way of doing that, but it's just, if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? Animation already be complicated enough. So, alright, I feel like our pupils are smaller. Let me go back to that. I feel like her head needs to be like, almost like wider, because if her 3/4 angle is that big, and then like, you know, like, and the front of the face should almost, yeah. Maybe so. Again, this is just the reference image. This is just sketch. No, just a little bit. If anything, I think she just needs bigger ears. Makes her cuter. Floppy ears make animals cute. No offense to, you know, I mean, bears don't have floppy ears, and, you know, some bears can be cute. In the animated world, it's not like an actual grizzly bear. When you're staring the jaws of death, the last thing you probably be thinking about is cute. What's that whistling in the background? Oh, there's birds outside. There's a lot of birds. My aircon's broken, so I have to have the windows open. So I just have a sip of coconut water. It's good stuff. Right, sorry. I'm taking a while. I don't want to look like a. I think so highly of all of you, and I don't want to look like a anything stupid. But you know, define stupid. Who wants to look smart? Who wants to look anything? Right now, I'm just getting existential. All right, I think these pupils just need to be slightly bigger, but it's really like not as important. I'm probably just going to carry over the pupils from the 3/4 angle anyway. So I think what's most important is just that like the body proportions are correct. Yeah, and I can make adjustments. I can make adjustments once I'm doing like the proper rigged version. I'm just becoming obsessive about the center of these horns being wider. Alright. Pupils. I'm sorry, not pupils, excuse me. Brows. I'm on the fence about like even having brows in like every shot versus like just bringing them in when they're like dramatic. Like, I kind of like the simplicity. But for now, she's got brows. I guess it's better to just have them there and then delete them there than have to like redraw them every shot if I decide to like go like brow heavy with this thing. Someone said, what program do you use? Right now I'm using Adobe Animate, and then for post-production I use After Effects. But right now I'm using Adobe Animate. Also, I mean, I learned this all when it was actually Adobe Flash, where they even had Creative Cloud. Heck, when I was using Flash, it had barely just become Flashy. It used to be Macromedia. Oh, member for the past 6 months. Andre the Dragon. Well, thank you for being a member for so long. It's been a while since I watched your videos. Now I'm back. Oh, good to see you back. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I'm working on this original project, and it's been super, super fun and rewarding and refreshing. A little more time consuming than the musicals, but I don't know, really, it almost doesn't feel like it. It's only when I like check with the calendar and I'm like, oh my god, the YouTube algorithm is gonna kill me for having taken so long. Is her body gonna get wider when she turns? I mean, I never even thought, like, how much of like a pear shape does Sheila have? Hold on, let's back it up. Yeah, because I don't want to make her like too plump. I always kind of like imagine Sheila's head being slightly, she's kind of a head case, so you know it's only appropriate that her head be almost bigger than her body. How about a reference this series to the Happy Satellite video? Oh my god, that's a good idea. That was like the Happy Satellite, I believe, was. No, I had made some really rough crude animations before Happy Satellite, but Happy Satellite I think was like the first like legit animation I made. Perhaps I should make a reference, because there is going to be a part in this where they go, well, they go at least to the stratosphere. I mean, practically to space. Right. Her being an Impala, yeah, her leg structure is kind of weird, so I'm not like, you know, I'm used to like doing like mostly like dinosaurs and humans, and I'm just trying to think here. Yeah, it's like okay. Right, I'm just gonna focus real quick before I look at well, I'll look at comments while I go. Green Money Weed Connection, those were good times. Which American state does he live? You mean these characters or me? I currently live in Hawaii, but I move a lot. I used to live in France, actually. I lived in California, lived in Italy, lived in France. J'habitais dans la France parce que je suis moitié français. But now I'm just living in the sweet state of Hawaii. I was lucky enough to have dual citizenship of French and American. So I have the choice, but it's Hawaii. And a lot of this, actually, you'll be able to tell is actually like, okay, we don't have like foxes and impalas here, but a lot of this was really inspired by where I live in Hawaii. This short show I'm working on, Bushy Tales. How's my day going? It's going fine. I was a little antsy about you know, live streaming for the first time in forever, but it's working out. It's going good. You guys are making it a lot. You're all making it a lot better. She got a bit of a weird stance. Someone said you should skew to the right a bit. Wait, you mean? You mean the 3/4 version of her? Has a weird stance, like this one, or the straight on angle. Oh yeah, it is looking weird. Yeah, you're right. The heck? How did I? Why did that end up so weird looking? Maybe just make her legs wider. Make her stomach shorter or something. I think it's her head. Yeah, I mean, luckily I'm not gonna, you know, most shots will be probably the 3/4 angle like this, but yeah, I don't want to feel like I can't, you know, I'm avoiding using the front angle just because, you know, I did a half arse job. Man, why is her stance so weird? I mean, having hoofs already, you know, will make one kind of weird looking, but sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can undo, but since I'm just kind of sketching, I have to hit like Control Alt Delete like a billion times. Andre, oh, thank you, Andre, for the donation. Oh, I'd love to come to Switzerland. I've been to Switzerland before, actually. Quite a few times. Last time I was there was in 2020, right before the pandemic. I would love to go back. I don't know what to do with her legs right now, because it's like, if you look at it, like, it's almost like her legs, the way I designed it. I mean, I should know I'm the one that freaking designed her, right? Like, her legs almost, like, come out partially in front of her stomach. This is a weird one. Here, I was thinking I was gonna do Sheila first, would be the easiest, and actually, like Bushy and Corkscrew would have, like, now that I think about it, been way easier, especially their bodies. Oh wait, someone wrote something above. What is it? Completely unrelated idea. Miso MP4. Thank you so much for the donation again, Miso. Another one. Jeez, she was so generous. Completely unrelated idea, but what if you were to make a musical but have the community animated segment of it until it's fully finished as a joint effort? Good chance to show off hidden talent. That's not a bad idea. Definitely gonna keep that at the top of my mind after this. I'm not, I know these legs are looking weird, but I'm gonna try to, like, commit to something and then just, like, adjust from there. So those will sit here all friggin' day. It's like, oh, it's Sunday. Like, yeah, Sunday next week by the time I'm done. That's not even with the rigged version. I said I was gonna stream for 45 minutes initially. I think it's already almost been an hour and I haven't even, like, actually started, like, the legit version. I thought I could do all 3 characters. It's funny, I don't know if this happens to any other animators out there, but it's like, when I say something's going to take a half an hour, it takes like 2 days. Just comes with the territory. I think I'm doing a weird job with Sheila right now. I wonder what AI would make if I asked for a center angle. I've like, I'm never gonna like use AI in my work, but just have like just sheer curiosity. I've like tried to see like what it would do, like for stuff like this and like the horrific nightmare fuel stuff that it comes up with. I mean, I'm asking for cute, and I'm like, hey AI, can you do an angle or do a scene with this? And it's just like a explicit deleted show. Why did that just turn green? I thought I was using the eraser tool. There we go. New drinking game. Every time somebody asks Lhugueny to make a specific musical, you take a shot. I'd be 6 feet under in about 5 seconds. if I played that game. If you guys want to play, by all means, go ahead. But I take no responsibility, and I do not condone drinking. I mean, by all means, go ahead and drink if you want. But my drinking days, I had fun when I was younger, but it's be a dangerous game. Plus, it makes animating real hard. I'm bad at this now. Put some drinks in it, and this thing, Sheila will look like this. Like, that's drunk me drawing. Right. God, it's so. She looks so weird from the front. What the heck? It's almost like you like chicken legs. They. Do I have any other animators helping me? No, not currently at the moment. I am been doing this solo for over a year now. I did with the musicals for several years, but YouTube was changing and monetization was changing. I just couldn't afford it. But it's alright. I'm open to it again in the future. But just financially, it's just not possible right now. I'm not gonna... Yeah, I need to fix the legs. I know you're right. I'm almost wondering if I should just like go back to the legs when I'm doing like the rigging, like just finish the rest of our... I don't... Like, how do I translate this into forwards? Right, I'm just deleting it. You know what? We might have to make this a two-parter. All right, I'm let's just do our arms. Finish the body. And then we'll start rigging and we'll figure out what to do with the legs. Shading maybe. Yeah, I'd like to do shading, but I was thinking a lot of shading I'm gonna do. I mean, there's a little bit of shading, like for example, like on her the bottom of her horns, but I was really gonna avoid shading until I get into the actual animation, because there are a lot of different scenes that I've storyboarded so far that have like very specific light points. So, you know, if in one scene, you know, she might have some really harsh light and shading cut on the back, and then like suddenly on the front. So if I ultimately like shade like the base rig, it's gonna... I'm just gonna have to undo it for like half the scenes anyways. But I could do a save as thing. Yeah, once I get all the rigs done, then I'll do like a front shaded version and a back shaded version. But first, let's get this three-dimensionality going. All right, I think that's cool. Cool for the bod. You know, her stomach, something like that. It's so interesting how something can look so good as a cartoon, and then as soon as you turn it like 45 degrees, it's like, what in the God's name? I like to pretend Lhugueny hates story of Undertale, but likes to throw micro community a couple breadcrumbs there. Oh, story of Undertale, don't even get me started. I can't even believe the micro community happened. I got so much hate when that video first came out. I never would have come to believe there would ever be a micro community around that. I think it's almost been 10 years. Alright. Get her arm hoofs in here. Hopefully these don't look as weird as I did with her legs. I mean, you know, let me just pull open a reference shot of her that I have her surfing. Because I did some concept art. And I'm just wondering if I just... look at that. So here's like a reference shot I did of them surfing. So it's, yeah, it was based on the 3/4 angle, but like, but yeah, it's just from the front, it's gonna look weird. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do my best to just not get too focused on the legs, and then really not dwell on, use too many front angles of her unless I somehow figure this out. And really just use this front angle to transition from, you know, if she switches from left to right. There's like a, you know, as a keyframe. Not a keyframe, excuse me, like an in-between. Between keyframes. Oh yeah, like, she has hoof hands, but I was thinking like, she kind of like if my hand was a hoof, she kind of like when she's generic like standing pose, she kind of just like holds it. I don't know where my camera is. She kind of just like has it like relaxed, like so it kind of goes backwards like that. You know, she should be a quadruped, but this is animation, baby. We don't believe in science. I think that's about the right size. Let's see. No, arm's too small. You screwed it up. You screwed up. You're fired, Logan. You're fired. You're on the streets. Got a box for a house. Some newspaper sheets. For those of you who remember, that Five Nights at Freddy's musical. The hell was that one called? That wasn't Sister Location. It was Security Breach. I think her arm needs to be a little wider. Just the base. Just a tad. I'm not going too much. I'm going overkill. I don't want to even polishing this up. This is just the reference for us to do the actual rig itself. Just more or less the same, but I don't want to just copy and paste because there is some variation between one arm and the other. And if they are symmetrical, nothing is ever perfectly symmetrical. Stuff like this looking kind of whack. Version of Animate am I using? I think this is the 2022 version. I'm always scared to like update, and then like all these like new features come out, and then it just takes forever for me to even like. This is some new keyboard shortcut or some other damnation that screws up my workflow. But there might be some cool features I'm missing out on. I just found out that you could blur within Animate, but then I tested it. And if you look closely, you can still see the vector line. So, yeah, and keep using After Effects for that, so it does a better job. Fun fact. No, I don't think anybody asked, but they are adding features, but they're not always perfect. All right, I have no idea about the legs. Her tail, you know, I'll probably put something in the rig because, you know, you might see it wagging back and forth, but her tail in theory should be like, you wouldn't even see it from the front angle. All right, let me just, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just back up. Her arms are looking small. It feels wrong. Oh, I guess she does have small arms. I guess I should also know this because I did make her, but... Oh, no, I agree. It was more effective to do the blur and animate. Like, if it was Boru IDK, it might be more effective to do it for sure, but like if it was like a single frame. But if there's like a background with like shadows and there's like a gradient on the shadows and I use blur, like you can still see those vector lines, and if it's like not just a split second, then it's, I don't know, just kind of looks gross. But agreed, like for like a quick moving shot, yeah, I probably opt to just do an animate. Why are our arms just feeling kind of wacky and off to me? I'm just overthinking everything. Because all you people are looking at me what I'm doing. I'm an introvert. I'm usually very introverted. Which is weird because, you know, millions of you are tuning in from, you know, various points to see my work, but you know, that's after I've had all the time in the world to polish it just so. Get a little anxious in crowds. Which is weird. When I was younger, I used to be like a party animal and stuff, and I loved crowds and shit. Oh wait, I mean that's SHEET. Don't strike me down, YouTube. Not what it sounds like. All right. I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough. We just need to start. We need to start rigging. All right. I'm gonna give one more shot at the legs. I'm gonna give one more shot at the legs. I need to just have a sip of coconut water. Hang on. Thirsty. Oh no, and Green Money Weed Connection got shot down in the drift. Yeah, Green Money Weed Connection I made back when I was a little more extroverted and in a party phase in life. I'll give these legs another shot, but in like another layer, so I can just delete them because they're probably gonna suck. We're doing a different color. I'm trying to figure out. All right, let's look at this reference here. What the heck is the secret with Sheila's legs? They're on the outside of her pear shape. So, I mean, she's bending them here. Here they're straight, as straight as they get with hoofs. Dang, hoofs, why'd I have to pick this kind of animal? I mean, look at Bushy, look how easy those legs are. And even Corkscrew, I mean, it's no biggie. What I just haven't studied, like, Impala horse-like animals enough. Do I, like, make the legs, like, behind her? Whoa. Did that solve it? Like, you know, like her body kind of like pops out, like when you look ahead of her, like her body kind of like pops out. Like in front of her legs a little bit. Does that make sense? Someone said in the comments I said make a sequel to The Divorce. That was actually my college thesis film, and unfortunately it was somewhat very closely based on true story of my life, so I don't know if I even want to revisit that. Yeah. Parents' divorce was not fun. But I managed to make fun of it, and then I just pissed everyone off in my family. They showed it at the at some film festivals, and one of them was in my hometown. Not to mention it like in the auditorium at my university, and yeah. My dad's new wife hates me to this day. It is fine with me. I'm sharing way too much information right now. But on the positive note, I think I figured it out. I think that her legs need to kind of like pop out behind her. Like, sorry, like pop out from behind her. Like they're under her. Right, I'm just gonna kind of finish putting this together, and then I'm gonna switch the color, and then let's have a look, shall we? All right, switching these bad boys to red. Oh, let's delete that line. All right, okay. Here's the reference. Here's the 3/4. 65% so we can see everything. Alright, here's what we got now. And it's a little better. She still looks off. I don't know if her legs are too small, but it's definitely better than before. I think they need to like be like that. I think they need to be behind. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, T-Rex dominance. It looks somewhat better. Like, yeah, something's still a little... Something's still a little off, but it's just a bit better. Alrighty. Okay. I am going to jump in closer. Now, first of all, I think the arms need to be... Should the arms be... I guess the leg could pop out in front of the arm. Hey. And I said, hey, I was talking to the pop-up. It was getting in my way. I don't like you pop-ups on my screen. We don't like your kind. Now, what was the issue again? Her legs are just... Also, her stomach is, like, off. I think, yeah, okay. Her tummy line, like, where it changes color to, like, a lighter beige, it goes, like, right up to the top of where the leg joins. So I'm just going to pull that over like that. And, cool. Alright. What them eyes? Oh, I almost forgot her eyelashes. I'm getting closer. Closer, doctor! I said closer!
Engage those islets at point-blank range. At that close range, we won't last long against those islets.
Last longer than we will against those legs of hers. For those who know your Return of the Jedi references. Sorry, as a kid I was like obsessed with the original Star Wars trilogy. I really don't watch Star Wars much anymore, but I think I know like the original trilogy like word for word. I'm just doing some people things, even though it doesn't really matter. It's just a reference sketch, but I'm just becoming obsessive. I said I wasn't going to do shads, but here I am like adding some like minor light sources, but it's just three. It's just three little light sources. It's not hurting anybody. Oh, yes it is, because now I've just turned them into objects and I gotta break it all apart. Probably should study some furry anatomy on the side while doing your own style. Yeah, you're probably right about that. But, uh-oh, I see someone saying someone about chilling about the spam. Is someone spamming in there? Don't make me put on the limit, the number of comments per time. Don't ruin the party for everybody. Don't be the person to take a dump in the apple pie. Or in the punch, or however the saying goes. Alright. I think the only thing is those legs. I mean, I know they're off, but I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but should they just be a tiny bit bigger? I feel like the upper parts of the legs should just be like ever so slightly bigger. I'm nitpicking, but I'm sorry, folks. We're going in. We're doing some cosmetic surgery. We're making those legs bigger, just a little bit, just a wee bit, lads. Just a little bit longer, and then we'll get into some rigging. So I am getting tired, and this has been a long stream. But I said I would rig some characters, and I shall not leave until I rig at least one, or I'll go down with the ship. Captain always goes down with the ship, and an animator always goes down to this piece of crap videos. So you, speaking to myself, will carry on as long as you can. Till you faint in front of this computer, you lazy sack of horse manure. Alright, that's it. Let's do it. Let's get into rigging. God, I kind of like... take a break. Not a break, but... What's Corkscrew's voice? Alright. Someone asked, I guess I'll take a break. I'll just do something a little different. So what's Corkscrew's voice? So Corkscrew's kind of like talks like this. He's kind of like like Jeff Spicoli a little bit. I don't want to ruin it, but he's whereas Bushy's Australian. He's Australian sort of sounding bloke. I mean, we don't even know where they are exactly, but you know, he calls Little Island home. But Corkscrew's like totally just just some like Cali dude. I mean, that's at least where I would assume he's from. Make him sound like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. Hey Beavis. Hey Bushy. Bush. Yeah, the previous name for this project. It wasn't like the previous name for this project was Bongo Bongo Land. So my dad used to tell me these stories when I was a kid called Bongo Bongo Land, and I I don't know, just kind of way to bond with my dad when I got older. I like made like visual like renditions of the characters and put them all together. And yeah, Corkscrew was one of the ones in there. Though Corkscrew I just invented. Corkscrew is actually based on a parrot we had growing up named Joe, who's actually still alive. My older brother has Joe. Joe is a 42 years old. I might be going to visit my brother, so if I can get a picture of Joe. But Bushy and Sheila are these are totally original. Bushy actually somewhat comes from. So I had pitched a version of this, but it wasn't called Bushy Tales. It was called Fox Cunningham, and Bushy's name is Fox Cunningham. And I pitched it to Nickelodeon. Some of their executives invited me to pitch some stuff like so long ago, in like 2013. I pitched Bushy Tales in 2014, but the year before I pitched a show about my dog Apollo. God rest his soul. I miss him so much every day. Passed away a couple years ago and still like destroys me. But I pitched like a cartoon version of him, and he's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. And so a lot of Bushy's design actually is kind of like derived from that, hence like the sort of Cavalier King Charles like color scheme on his face. So in a way, my dog Apollo kind of lives in Bushy. Sorry, I'm just getting kind of sad because I miss Apollo so much. Alright. That's life though. Alright. I'm gonna take a sip of... Yes, Apollo the King. Thank you, David Ferris. He was the king. And he is the king. Alright. Let's start with this front rig. I'm getting rid of close and reference Sheila in here, and we got front rig layer. Alright. I might not get around to the whole thing today because I'm getting a bit tired. Oh, I don't want to put any ads on or anything, but I don't want to just like leave this chair empty, but I'm a bit hungry and I gotta give it to streamers. You know, I've never said this publicly, but like I've thought it to myself in the past, just to myself and amongst some other animators, like, oh, people who video game stream, it must be like so easy, yada yada yada. But holy crud, when like just doing it for having streamed some games in the past and then doing this, like, see people stream for like the amount of time that they do, like I just have like nonstop. I just have like, this newfound respect. I've only been doing this I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. My God, I don't know how they do it. All right, so how shall we do this rig? Let me see what I did for her. Here, let's check out Sheila's 3/4 rig. Right, I'm gonna click into her. So yeah, I should probably do the head rig because then within the head rig there's gonna be a whole other bunch of stuff. So there's the head. So I think I have the ears all separated. Brows. So yeah, usually the face part is what I start. So yeah, I don't. Yeah. So I'm just gonna like literally just do. It's gonna look kind of weird. Back it up a little bit because I want the line weight to not be too thin. So I'm just gonna, I'm too far away now. I think I even separated her horns because I wanted them to actually like be like expressive. But I did an animation test where like the horns were like just as like expressive as her eyebrows, and it was like too weird. But I think I'll still separate the horns so that there's like some quick motion. They almost like have just a little bit of like follow-up bounce to the movement of her head. So to start this rig, I am going to just go below, because yeah, unlike most characters which I do, there's like a straight neck layer, but Sheila, I guess I could make this just a layer on its own. Maybe that'll make it easier. Yeah, so maybe I'll start it from here, and on this front version I'll make a neck layer. I don't want to like draw too slowly because then like the line weight's gonna be shaky. So I'll just go from like. But I kind of like to do it in one stroke though. Yeah, see, it's a little like wonky. Alright, I'm just trying to fix. Try to fix this line weight. It looks okay from this distance, but when you start getting closer, you'll see the close-up shots. You'll see the imperfections of the line weights, and I want my line weight to look good. But one animator I worked with who always like had perfect line weight was Pivots XXD, I believe. He goes under Pink Poppy now. He always spent so much time, and I really have mad respect for him, making sure that his line weight was like just perfect. The line weight, I don't know if that's what you call it, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. Like the width of the outlines were like just right. Oh, someone's quoting FNAF 3 in the comments. Yeah, you gotta calm down there. It's not happy hour yet. Alright. Let's see. Let's compare it to Sheila's line weight and the 3/4 stuff. So we want this all to match. I don't think. What's my least favorite part about animating? Someone asks. Border IDK on. Depends. I think it just changes over time. You get better at certain things. Some things become easier. Some things become redundant. It really varies from project to project. My least favorite part about animating, but I guess it's not really like the process, is just animating something I don't really want to animate, but I know I have to if like something that's like trending super hard, and and I need the money, so I make a parody about it, but I'm really like not into it. I mean, I'm into everything I make. It's just YouTube can be very taxing, and you have the algorithm always like demands you to. It's hard to take breaks, because the YouTube doesn't like it when you stop uploading. Alright, so I'm gonna do her mouth section separately. So let's just do the eyes. Should I just see, what did I do with her line weight? Yeah, it's pretty good. Still wondering, are her eyes still too big? Comment section, are her eyes still too big? I think there's a slight delay here, so I'm just gonna wait for a second. Here's the other angle. Yeah, I think they're good. Yeah, looks like everyone says things are good. Okay. Alright, thank you. Alright, let's get on with these eyes then. Get in a little bit further away, because then I can keep my pen at the same size, but I'm not tracing properly. I need to zoom in, but then do I need to like make my pen tool slightly bigger? 1.5. Oh, it only does it once. My brush tool, excuse me. in a single stroke, at least down to the point where it reaches the mouth and it's covered. More or less. And you can kind of tug at the sides to make it slightly wider. Tugging on them islands. Rain's pouring in the skylands, which is actually not true at all. It's like a really beautiful day. We just had some insane storms here in Hawaii, and today's like the first like beautiful day in a long time, and I'm sitting in the dark. That is how committed I am. But I may go out for a snorkel later. I love the ocean. I cannot tell you guys how much I love the ocean. You know, in my announcement video for this, I think it was like last Sunday I posted it, I actually did sing a story of Undertale underwater while free diving, and I did swim with a giant manta ray. I'm sure that the animals were like, what the hell is wrong with this monkey singing God knows what. And right now in Hawaii, the whales are here. Humpback whales are coming, so they only come like half the year. You can hear them under the water. It's just like, don't want to get emotional, but like, hot damn. They're so loud. And you don't even see them. They can be like miles away, and you can hear the mothers and the babies talking, and like the mothers are just so deep, it's like, whoa, and then the babies are just super high pitched, like, it's like they're being like, they sound like they're being like scolded by their like parents, because they love to jump. And the babies get all rowdy when you do see them on the surface. Which one of these would you enjoy more, Digital Circus or Has Been? You know, I've actually never. Please don't hate me, but I've never watched a full episode of either. I like the Amazing Digital Circus, but I think I prefer stylistically, like just the visuals, the art of Has Been. I'm just more into 2D than I am 3D. That being said, I shouldn't actually give my opinion until I give both like a proper full watch through, which I will as soon as I get a chance. All right, front rig. Okay, this is all I need. I'm wasting precious time here, so I'm just gonna get rid of that back. So I'm just gonna put this red thing here because then I'm gonna delete that afterwards. But I just need to fill in the color. So let's go grab color from Sheila's other side. There we go. Throw it on. The eyes, I'm not going to color white because I'm going to put an underneath layer because I'm going to have a layer on top, which are the pupils. So now I am going to delete, pull that down and delete this because then I think I'll put like a tiny neck layer. All right, convert to symbol. This will be the main. Sheila front. V1. Oh wait, you guys can't even see that. Yeah, here it is. See, that's what I put it as. All right. Now in that layer, this will be the head layer, which then I'm going to convert into another symbol, so that then I can have all our head stuff in one timeline. Sheila front head. This is Sheila front 1 in case I have some other version of her in the front. Head 1. Just keep these things organized. Because yeah, then if you start accidentally bringing in some symbols with the same names with another file, then it gets all confused and angry. Well, thank you, Marquis Piscura, for the donation. It says your message was retracted though. I wonder what you had to say. Mr. Circle Guy asked when we get return to musicals. As soon as I'm done with this. which it probably seems like I'm taking a while, but it's actually just because I typically don't storyboard and do a lot of extra things for musicals as I do for this, but it shouldn't be too much longer. Alright, so now I'm in the head layer, so I'm going to make this, oh sorry, the head symbol, and then we're going to have this face. Actually, I should turn back on that reference. What was I thinking? And now I will do eyes, which will be the very bottom, and the eyes are literally just the whites. I'm just going to draw an area within her head that is fully covered, that doesn't pop out, so I can then color white, milky white. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab her pupils from over here. Pupils. Yeah, they're not exactly the same size, but I guess if she's turning her head, you know, should be a little closer to the camera, so you can make these a little teeny tiny bit bigger. Go ahead and turn like that. Well, I guess I think it could be kind of turned to the side, yeah, because her face would be screwed. It looks like it makes sense to me. Alright, and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. Have you ever lost any progress on any project due to Adobe issues like crashes? If I had a penny for every time that's happened, I would be a billionaire right now. Meaning yes, unfortunately. I try to back things up as much as possible, but sometimes crashes. Sometimes also like files get corrupted, so like saving is actually worse sometimes. So it was good to like save as a backup, because sometimes then like I'll do something, and then like the whole file is like corrupted and like nothing like works correctly. So it's like doesn't matter what I do. Getting off track here. Alright, let's do let me do her ears. Do them separately. Left ear. It's to my I say left. When I say left, I mean to my left, not her left. What did I decide to do? Did I make her ears? Yeah, they kinda, yeah, they're behind the eye. Like they're a little bit. Should I make it completely behind the head? No. Sorry, I'm not really being clear about what I'm saying. Like I just want to like have some connection there. Unlike what I was doing with the legs or like the horns, where they're just like fully behind. I don't know if I like this line work here. Let's zoom in. Let's do it and see the damage. It's looking. Try to make this line weight look a little better. Alright, I think that's okay. And I'm going to color it in. Like that. I was wondering should her ears be behind her? Nah, I like it more in front. I feel like the line weight is like too thin. And I almost feel like it should just be a little teeny tiny bit bigger. Like that. Alright, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm just gonna work on the line weight a little bit. Just because like look at her head, like line weight. Like holy crud, these ear lines look like They were just like, just from another world. Speaking about from another world, I still can't get over the fact that they were just gonna straight up just like get rid of like Adobe Animate. Like, fine, like don't update it. Fine, make, you know, push AI. Fine, but like get rid. Like, what in the heck? I mean, Adobe's like what's their market cap? It's like, look, how many billions of dollars? Like, who the hell? And I bet you that CEO gets like some massive bonus. Like, it just seems like just insane. To even like not understand how crucial your product is. I feel like that was like a way to almost like force people. Like their goal, like obviously it's not gonna happen now, thank God, but like it's like to force animators to like use AI. You know, it's like it can. I mean, I've seen some like legitimate like short AI clips, but you cannot. I have not seen anyone make like a full blown film that's like legit in AI. That's right. I'm getting low blood sugar here. Sheila front, left ear 1, and put the pivot point at the top of the ear there. All right. Let's do her right ear. It's getting closer. I said closer. Sheila Froth. It's your name. Whitney, we got the voices done a long time ago for this. I mean, actually, this is something that's been like in the works for so long. We did we actually went to a professional studio to do voiceovers for this. Whitney did quite the awesome voiceover for Sheila. I really can't wait to show you this product. So, I think it's probably gonna end up being like 12 or 15 minutes long. But it is a wild story. Line weight issues over here again. Have you seen Hoppers? No, but I really want to go see Hoppers. You said Gumballs uses it. You mean uses Adobe Animate? I figured that Gumball uses After Effects at least, but they weren't threatening to get it. But yeah, it would look like I would figure that Gumball used either Toon Boom or Animate for at least the 2D parts. But if they're using After Effects, then like why not just stick with the whole Adobe program anyways? Now I'm just screwing up here. Someone texted, yo, 15 animated piece is basically a full-length episode done alone without going insane is impressive. Well, thank you. But the joke's on you. I've already gone insane a long time ago. I don't know how my poor wife puts up with me. If this is me, I'm just pretending to be normal right now. I'm like actually an insane person. Like clinically, like I'm fit for a straitjacket. Behind the scenes, oh, it's a nightmare. If I had the chance to return to Flash, would I? I don't know. I mean, this is similar enough to Flash, and I converted to animate from Flash after my last computer went kaput. And I couldn't install the Flash anymore, so I was like basically forced to. At this point, I'm so used to using this. I mean, I'd certainly give it a try. I can't think off the top of my head, but there were some features that Flash had that Animate doesn't. I just can't think off the top of my head right now what the heck those were. But I guess when you just spend so many hours on any program, yeah, the brushstrokes do. Wait, you said the brushstrokes on Animate sucks. There are archives on like. How do you? Is there like I agree, but then like I said like Jordan Como goes by Pink Poppy Pivots XX, or he used to go by Pivots XXD. I don't know what he used to do, but he somehow gets his brushstrokes to look amazing on. Well, at least he's using Flash. I mean, but I thought he switched to Animate when the switch happened. He still. Or was there a difference? Did the brushstrokes change between Flash and Animate? If so, I didn't. Maybe I just have terrible brushstrokes in the first place. You can always be insanier. Yeah, enjoying the Animaniacs.
And then I'll end up in prison.
Or at least owned by Netflix. Oh, wait, who ended up buying Warner Brothers? What did Netflix get him, or did Paramount get him? Or what was it? David Ellison. I'm spending way too much time on this here. Alright. Do her horns. Oh, Animaniacs? Duh. We're the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. Animani, totally insane. Animaniacs. God, that was so. That's what the autotune's for. Horns. What about the person talking about Animaniacs? What about the like the show within the show, Pinky and the Brain? The show's rad. Pinky and the Brain, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. Narf. So what am I gonna do tonight, Brain? The same thing you do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. I was obsessing about those horns earlier, but I think they're looking alright. Well, I can always come back and make some adjustments, but I think we're good. He is.
Dwelling on the lion weight again. I've spent weeks, months, years of my life obsessing in the darkness about line weight in Adobe Flash. Some people call me crazy. Other people call me insane. What's the difference? Nothing. I belong in the nut house. As do probably all animators. And that's what AI's for. That way you don't have to go crazy anymore.
Alright. I just gotta put a cap on those so I can fill them. The line weight there is looking a little weird. Alright, I'm not gonna like overdo this. Whoops, wrong file. Alright. horns. I said no shadows, but just, I don't know, make it at least just match the front version. No shading, but I did do it on the horns here, so I don't know why I decided to do that. There's like no shading anywhere else, but just, I don't know what came over me. It's, you know, something. Oh man, the top of her head.
I don't like the line weight on the top of the head. That's not looking very good. Adobe, why would you do this to me on the day of my daughter's wedding?
Alright. Did I turn those horns into a symbol?
No. What kind of amateur doesn't turn a layer into a symbol, for God's sakes, man?
Sheila, rent 1, horns 1. Organize these symbols in a folder. I believe there is this folder right here. Where they all just like automatically go. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Oh, T-Rex, there's something wrong with you. On my software, I'm doing it on a manual instead of typing in some prompts and letting it do all the work. Oh, is that like a joke about AI? I see what you did there. You goofy bastardo. Alright, for the head, alright. Said I didn't want to do the brows, but I already did it on the 3/4 angle, so I'm just going to do them on here. Let's do the brows. What I have going on? Yeah, I use the lines, not brush stroke for the brows. He used a brush stroke for the brows in one layer, but then not in the other. What kind of amateur would do that? I could slap an animator who does that. 007 Sean Connery. I'll tell you who I don't like. It's that Roger Moore. Thinks he can take my job and get away with it while I slap him. Well, they're not even, but you know what? These brows are going to be moving so much and getting so funky when they are used that no, what the heck? There. I forgot that when you like trying to use the like eyedropper tool, you have like one layer open and you know you're eyedropping the thing in front. It's like a lock, so it just gets the color behind. Right, there we go. Alright, that is everything on the face. I'm not putting the brows into a symbol because I typically will just redraw those, move those around a lot. And symbols. It's pointless, I'll just do it frame by frame. Gotta get that mouth. On a serious note, when do I plan on streaming some more? I don't know. Let's see how this does. I'm gonna play it back. I'm gonna see. Make sure that you know. It all looks good first of all. So I think I'll probably keep these up. Streams as like you know videos to watch after the fact as regular videos. If it's helpful and you all are enjoying this, then you know I'll try to do it more often. Now I won't do it for like every little bit of the animation process because you know like a good group of friends, you know, I'm getting distracted wanting to you know chit chat and whatnot. And sometimes the animation process to be fully 100%, I need to just literally just pretend like nothing and nobody exists. Like I don't even have a body. But at least for some of these processes, so I will be doing at least some more streaming. And maybe as I get more comfortable, hell, maybe I'll do it all the time. And I'm not gonna be one of those vlogger people who like streams all the time. Sorry, I said that in a way, like vlogger people, like it's like they're terrible people, but like it's too Truman Showy for me, but I'll do some more. if you guys are enjoying it, I mean, I also hope it doesn't take away too much of like the mystery of the the animation. Oh, crap. So I did that thing where I pressed J and it like turned everything into a symbol. And now it turned everything. Alright, are we having a crash out moment here? Yep. Look at that. So it's like still there, but like it will. Oh, it went back to black. Okay. I thought we were having a crash out. Not me, a personal crash out meltdown, though. That is a possibility. Yeah. So the mouth layer, I think for the sake of time, I'm just gonna do like the single resting pose mouth, and then later, probably off stream or on the next stream, I'll do all the different mouth positions, because I've already kind of gone way longer than expected, and I have some other things I have to get around to. But I'd rather just finish the entirety of the character, and then yeah, because they're 22. I mean, I'll even add some more, but they're 22 like basic mouth positions. They're 11 for lip sync, and they're 11, smiley like this, and then they're 11 sort of in the opposite direction, like sad. But, the downward mouth can actually not be sad. It can be angry if you put the eyebrows in the right position. I cannot make a good circle for this glow on the nose. I don't know why. And now I feel like her entirety of her nose is all freaking weird looking. But I don't want to use the circle tool because I also don't like perfect circles. Looks too like. Just that hand drawn feel, but damn it, now as I'm trying to adjust it, it's making it kind of wonky. Alright, that's good. I'm not touching it anymore. Alright, now. I mean, the nose shape itself, that is. Alright, I'm putting the circle for the light. Bada bing, bada boom. I made it gray on her, but I think I might, like, before I start animating, switch it to just straight white, but just for consistency's sake for now. That's a good color. I did it there. It's like almost white. God, now like I feel like the line weight like looks too thick. I'm tripping. I'll revisit this later and make adjustments if I'm like. It's just because I'm so close up. Alright, that's 200%. Just add the actual mouth on this mouth layer. Because it says mouth layer, but it's it's the mouth, it's her cheeks, it's her nose. But I just want it all in one layer because it says do all the different movements for lip syncing, all this going to move around. All right, I can work with that. Again, that's not finished, but I can work with it. Something feels a little off. Oh my god, the pupil. What the hell? Did I just make her eyes like too... It's good, but... Yeah. Alright, well, I'll leave that for now, but I may go back. It's not the width, but her eyes are almost like too tall. I might just make them a tiny bit shorter, but I'm going to deal with that later. Sheila, front, once I'm understanding the symbol. Mouth. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I forgot. Her eyelids layer. I'm going to add that layer, but I'm not going to fill it in now because I will formulate all the different eyelid movements within that sub-symbol layer based around the shape of the eyes, and I do think I want to lower those, but for just the sake of time and not just like ending the stream without finishing, I'm just gonna get her body done. So the other thing I like to do is I like to pull the timeline out, excuse me, to, animate starts getting a little glitchy past like 250, 300 frames, but I like to pull it out to like good safe like 250, which is about 24 frames per second. That's about 10 seconds of animation, and I already have an extra layer on top ready to stick in the audio. So that way, it's like when I open this and I'm animating, like the timeline's already stretched out. Think about like every time you open a new scene and I have to do that. That just saved me like 20 times of doing that. All right, now back out to the body layer. Let's put the rotate point on her head down where it belongs. All right, real quick. I'm being nitpicky here. Her face goes in a little bit more. There. That's better. Yeah, I'm just wondering about adding this neck layer here. I think I'm going to forget the neck layer and I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to pull it down a little bit more and this is going to overlap over the top of her body. And then I'm going to do the color here. But yeah, in a way that actually goes up like this, so that then if I move her head around, it doesn't. This is going to be layered on top of her body. It doesn't block the different coloring of the front of her tummy there. All right, that's it, head. Say goodbye, head. Adios. Au revoir. Oh yeah, what am I doing? I don't want that on a single frame. I want that looping or playing because obviously we want the actions happening within the head layer to then be visible in the main body layer here. Alright. Main body. Alright, hold up. Take a sip. I'm getting some sort of allergies. That's the sniffling. I have my doors closed. No AC. The dust is collecting. If I open the doors, lawnmowers out there. They're gonna kill us all! Alright, body. Alright. Go back to. Is still my line size is 2? Is that? I didn't know 2 is so thin. The tree's like fat. I think I'm just going to keep it at 2, and then I'm just going to drag it wider if need be. Alright, here we go. This connection point's going to be muy importante. See if I can do this in one single stroke. Come on, baby, come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, but look, what have I done? Doesn't quite sync up. There. Manually move the top of her body lines there, and now it's connected nicely. Connected very nicely there, 007. I'm 007. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you, Roger Moore? Alright. Well, this is a real easy layer compared to the last one. A million working parts. Alright. Let's connect to the top so I can fill it in. Fill in the blank. Boom. Alright. Oh. Well, she kind of like warped down here. I'm being such a like nitpicker right now that like, enough already, just finish the damn rig. Alright. Screw it. I'm overthinking it. Alright. Zoom back out a little bit. I just need to draw. Did I keep the line? Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, I kept the line it shows the differentiating color of the front of the tummy. So let's follow that with a thin black pen. What am I? 0.1. There we go. Try to do it smoother than the reference image there, where there's that little inconsistent glitch. It's pretty even on both sides. Slightly higher on the left and the right. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, does it? I mean, what is perfection anyways, right? I mean, alright, let's go copy that color, put it on the tummy. Boom! See, I always do the head layer first because it's just like, let's get the hardest, just all that junk out of the way, because then like all these other body layers will just seem like they fly by in comparison. So let me quickly zoom in, because sometimes these little angular areas, they won't fill the color, but it did! Thank you, Adobe. Alright. Moving on. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold your horses there, Ranger Rick. Sheila front. Body 1. Like that, I'm making this a still image because I don't need to be playing the loop in there. There's nothing. Alright, now I'm going to do the left arm, and once again, to my left, not to her right. What the heck did I have going on with the arms here? Because then it's like, I have her left arm like in front of the legs, but then I don't know, I'll figure that out after. But I think it's in front of the body, but then I made like the leg in behind the body, but then it's in front of the arm, but I don't even know how it's. I'm just gonna make this arm, and then I'm just going to act first and ask questions later. Alright. Let's take a closer look and see. If God were an animator, it wouldn't be the 7 days of creation, it would be like the 7 millennia of creation. I spent the whole freaking morning doing one character that I freaking made, just a slightly different angle. Oh, don't you worry, Julianne. -X8G. Chaos Theory 3 will come. I shall not leave this earth until I finish the Chaos Theory series. And if they make that survival game, oh damn, I'm getting in that. I mean, I'm playing that game first, and then I'm making a musical on that. I saw Jurassic Park in theaters when I was 6 years old. And yes, I know I'm a dinosaur, age-wise. And it blew my mind. I mean, I mean, back in the day, they didn't even, like, have trailers like they do now, so, like, I didn't know anything about it. I had no idea what we were going to see. And I don't know if it was just my young little virgin ears or what, but, like, that first T-Rex roar happened. I mean, like, I thought it was real. I thought it was a real T-Rex. Probably helped that they, you know, did so many practical effects and minimal CGI. I mean, that. Alright. Left arm looking okay. Let's compare it to. Yeah, because she does have little arms. I mean, like, Bushy and Sheila have little arms. I mean, Bushy's really got little arms, but they're longer, but. The Corkscrew, on the other hand, he's got some big old arm wings. Alright. Sheila, front 1, left arm. And I'm feeling like in my old age, I've become soft. I can barely get through rigging one character during a stream. I feel like I used to. Actually, that wasn't even that long ago. I made Undertale yellow like the last point. Like, not I didn't make the entirety of the video this fast, but like I think from like the halfway point, I literally just like didn't stop for 48 straight hours. I like pulled like 2 all-nighters in a row. I was just working so obsessively, and then in like my delusional state, like I was just so like ecstatic and like in like some other like dimension that I thought it was a good idea for me to cook dinner. I was like, what? To my wife Whitney, obviously you guys all know her. She's the voice of Blue, and many other characters. She's the voice of Sheila here. I was like, what? Yo, I'm so excited. Like, let me cook dinner tonight. And I was cooking fish, and there's so much olive oil in the pan, and I just threw that fish on there, and the olive oil sprayed all over my forearm, and I had such bad 3rd-degree burns. Okay, not to the point where I needed to go to the hospital, but like my skin was bubbling. That's not why I can't pull all-nighters anymore. I just learned that like real sleep deprivation mixed with like the endorphin release of like finally releasing a creation you've been so excited about, is it's like I don't know, it's how people describe like hallucinogens. It's like I was like on something. I was high on life. Alright. Doors 2, the musical? Someone says Doors 2 is in like Roblox Doors? Or, you mean Jim Morrison, The Doors? I assume you mean Roblox because I've never made anything bad. Jim Morrison, The Doors. I've not played Roblox in a while. Not been keeping up on what's going on there. The only time I really played Roblox to any significance was when I was recovering from surgery. Just a couple years ago. Alright. Wait, it's okay. Easy mistake there. Without thinking, this is why it's good to take breaks, I just made her right arm in the same layer as her left arm. Thank God I noticed. Alright. So, easy fix here though. Could have been an issue, but cut it. Copy out of that layer, delete, paste into its own layer. This is the little symbol, unaffected, okay. Now, convert to symbol. Shoot. I can't even write anymore. Sheila, front, right arm, 1. Now, within all these sub layers, as I animate, I'm going to be adding other poses and stuff, but I'm just doing the base poses for now. For the sake of time, and I just want to let you guys all see the finished base level body. Oh yeah, and I didn't put eyebrows, but the eyebrows I'm going to put with the lid, so just pretend like she's got brows. So I'll post some stuff after, but I'm kind of in the need of a break, and I just want to do it all in one go. So let's just get these goofy hoofs done. Yeah, I think. Alright, let me just. This was this thing we were talking about earlier this stream. These hoofs. So I'm putting my fingers up and like against the screen of my tablet. From like top to bottom, the hoofs ain't much longer than the arms. So yeah, I think this size works. It's just something a little like, yeah, I think that's why a lot of people use the 3/4 angles a lot more. I mean, unless it's for like a quick segment or something extreme, or part of like an in-between frames, the characters turning around. Like, a lot of animated characters can almost look like a creepy, uncanny valley when they're like in that like straight front angle. I mean, and I'm not just talking about like anthropomorphic characters like this. I mean, like, and I feel like a lot of shows, like mainstream shows, like the animators like didn't get it at first, and then they clearly do, because they like stopped doing it in later episodes. Like, I feel like in earlier seasons of like Family Guy and The Simpsons, you'd see a lot. So like season 1 of Family Guy, particularly, and season 1 of The Simpsons, you'd see a lot more like front-on shots of Peter Griffin or like Homer. And I mean, obviously their characters are never meant to be flattering, but they're like it's almost like creepy. There's usually like freeze frame on them for like a long time. You're like, what the hell is that? Is that even like the same person? I mean, am I right, or is it just me? I mean, even me right now on camera. Let's say when I'm not animating, turn 3/4. A little scary if I'm like this.
I must be terrifying.
Alright, enough with that. Oh my god, I just did it again. I just did you know, actually this is for a lot of musicals, because it's, especially for human characters, I'll do both legs in one layer. But because I'm intending to do a lot more motion on this, I'm going to do them separately. So let me just... Yeah. So I even wrote left legs because I was on like autopilot. Should be left leg and then right leg. The thing I've done wrong here is that they need to be behind the body. Alright. I will lock... Wait. What have I done? Did I just delete the... There it is. Okay, we still have to work for the right leg. I'll finish the left leg first. Alright, let's hit the color. Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh yeah! Oh, wait, but it's looking a little bit off down here. I'm seeing some lines that are not looking too good. Is it just me, or...
Yeah, look at that. Let me turn off this, like... I don't need these reference layers anymore. Now that is some sloppy line work right there.
How dare you!
If I was my own boss right now, I'd say,
Logan, one more screw up like this and you are out of here! That is shoddy work. And you went to art school, for God's sakes, man. You have no self-respect.
Oh, and then look at it up here. Look at that. That's sloppy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that line carryover. That's sloppiness too. Sloppy Joe.
Who ordered the sloppy joes?
I know how you lazy animators like them lines sloppy. Alright. Let's turn this left leg into a symbol before I screw up. So I'm getting distracted by the comment section. Left leg, 1. I want to read that. Do I know the 3 pixel gap in the UTY carrier rig? Oh, no. I wouldn't be surprised though. I catch a lot of musicals, I'm like hauling ass. I mean, I still spend a lot of time on them, but, you know, it's like, either I get them out, you know, by a certain point in time, or like I'm not gonna like be able to like pay my rent for the next month, and then I gotta like, so apologies. It's but I think I did notice that there's some other Undertale yellow. gaps like that too, and even more so in Undertale the musical. But Undertale Yellow, I was disappointed because I put way more effort into that than Undertale the musical.
Am I drawing in brown? I need to be drawing lines in black, damn it. Pixel gaps are as worse than worst crime ever. Man's laughter is a serious crime. Or is it manslaughter?
I'm just joking. I ripped that joke off from. Y'all ever seen the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson?
It's quite the joke.
Alright, let's hear this background thing. Make sure I got no more line gaps. Whoever mentioned the line gap thing, did you notice that? Because, like, just from watching the video and, like, zooming in, or is it because I dared release the FLA files? Don't worry, you can be honest. I'll still release more FLA files if you tell me it's because I released them. Just curious. Yawn7540. I wish we had more keyframes for the UTY rigs, but I understand if it's about work and time reasons. Oh. Well, the keyframes, like, I'm making as I move along. I don't just, like, save them within the file. So I guess I could release, like, all the individual parts, the FLAs, and then you could see the keyframes for each scene, if that's something you'd be interested in. Yeah, I haven't really done anything with the Patreon other than putting people's names in the end section and then offering that. So, okay. The only thing, though, thank you for being honest about that you found it in the FLAs. I will still, it helps me to, there's criticism, but then there's constructive criticism. So, I have a question. I don't know how you can still sing with that voice. What exactly do you mean by sing? Because I put a lot of effects on my voice. I can also do a bunch of voices, but, like, my nasally ass, like, I will slide and screw the dialogue. But then I also, like, layer my voice many times, so, like, I'll do, like, a low version, like, I will slide and screw the dialogue. And then I'll put, like, overlay that with I will slide and screw the dialogue. And then I'll throw some autotune, and then I'll throw some chorus, and then I'll throw some reverb. So trust me, I am not, like, actually a good singer. Fake it till you make it. I fell from the light. Taka should have fight monster genocide. And the high version. I fell from the light. Taka should have fight. My voice is shaky though. I need to eat food. I need FUD. Alright, her right leg is a little bit off. I need to do some. We need surgery stat! So that we all get the hell out of here. These poor people in this live stream, they just want to go home. Yeah, basically, this leg is, like, way bigger than the other one, and it's meant to be straight on, so they should be equal unless she's got some sort of, like, deformity. Which is, like, not really meant to be her thing. Alright. I think we finally get in the end zone. Don't make me sing Avengers Endgame now. If you know what I'm talking about when I say We're in the end zone. Oh god, I can't believe how long ago that was. Time is just friggin' flying by. We are all gonna get old, and we are all going to look back on these days and be like, what the hell, man?
And none of you can do anything about it.
It's freaking me out. Alright, those legs are still looking a little better, but she's a little lopsided. I think that right leg needs to come out just a little bit. And then maybe I will... Something feels off, but I think I've just been staring at this for too long. Alright. Throw this one. I'm gonna make some adjustments, but at least you get... This was just, the entire process. Well, not the entire process, but a large chunk of the process of drawing and then rigging Sheila's front design. Yeah, I mean, I don't want her tail to just be hanging out down in the middle, because then it could look like something inappropriate, you know what I mean, and get this video flagged, but I was thinking, like, for some shots, maybe it could come out, like, the side here, but I don't know, I'm just gonna mark, like, keep an empty tail layer, and it's there if I need it. Yeah. Oh, and then, like I did within the head layer, I'm going to put an audio layer. And with most of my characters, I like to put a, like a, what is this, like a 24% opacity black, but then like progressively goes out to 0%, then like kind of like morph to be just like a, just like a cheap little shadow. I mean, then get rid of it in shots, but it's just there in case I need it. Oh wait, I put it in the audio layer. I put it down in its own shadow layer. It just helps. I just feel like connect the characters to the ground more. Than like not having it. I didn't always do this. I mean, get really complicated, and then I can like double. Like I could like double up the characters in After Effects as PNGs, and then like turn the one in the behind layer black, and then turn the opacity down to like 25%, and then put a huge blur, and then like warp it underneath. But that's just like, give me a big budget, and then we'll talk about that. But sometimes you gotta sacrifice things that maybe you'd want to do for the sake of just like actually getting the damn thing completed. I just feel like those horns are off, but let's see. Yeah, they're good enough. I think it's good enough for now. Like I said, with the head layer, now with the entirety of the body, I'm going to pull it out to about 250 frames, so I got some room to work with, and I don't have to like do this every time I open this. I'm probably not going to do too many full frontal shots that aren't just like in-betweens. And yes, I have not done all the different mouth movements, nor the lids, but I will show that in the near future. But in the meantime, I will just give her some lids, so at least we can like look at a finished Sheila from the front and just marvel. I don't think it'd be too perfect, but well, this is, again, I'm gonna redo these anyway, so
Screw it. This is what you get. You get what you pay for. Actually, some of you did pay some money in the comment section, so thank you. It's been no offense.
to think that some people get Some studios will go through like millions of dollars. What was it, Family Guy? How was like $2 million per episode production? Damn. South Park, those boys, they just get 1.2 billion for like freaking season. Which whatever. Her pupils are slightly off. What the hell's going on there? All right. Well, my last little obsession before we like marvel at this and then we say adios for today. I think her right pupil should just be like a little bit longer. Right? Clap dance for us. You want me to clap dance? Or you want me to animate Sheila clap dance? Because I gotta animate Sheila clap dance. We're gonna be here for another couple hours. Thank you for answering. Noah boy, if you're responding to me asking about the people, thank you, because I kind of feel the same way. I think longer. Yeah, now it looks better, right? I just think that I just need to make both eyes, like, not the pupils, but the eyes themselves, just slightly smaller at the bottom, and a little bit more so even the right one and the left one. But for now, this is good. So let's just take a look here, and then I will clap dance for you. I shall do the clap dance. Because you all came by, you showed me support. It's the least I could do. Hey, you guys want the, someone wants the Undertale Christmas FLA, so I'm going to have to put those on Patreon too. Alright, so let me just double check that I turn these all into the correct symbols. Okay. Alright, so let me zoom out. Gonna probably end up making some modifications, yada yada, but here's what we started with about 2.5 hours ago. Here's what we got now. Not bad. Not bad. A little bit of polishing up to do, but I'm happy with it. And thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much for watching. And thank you for like, well, everything. Just supporting the channel, literally just by being here. But thanks for like helping me get through this. Like a lot of you made commentary that as I was working that of modifications to make that that I wouldn't have caught till later, and then would have taken me more time. So yeah, I think these streams are actually like really helpful for me because you can actually help me a lot. Like as I go, it helps to it helps to just like have an objective point of view, or many objective point of views, not just many. I mean, there's a lot of you in there. All right, you guys want the clap dance on stream? All right, well, I'm gonna tune out, but I will do the clap dance on stream. But I don't know, like my camera. I'm gonna try to position myself correctly and take these headphones off. This has just somehow become what I'm known for. I'll try to do it in 5 frames. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much for stopping by. This was the best stream of my life, but it was only the first stream, so I hope to see you next time. Alright. That was like the cringiest thing ever. I love you all so much. You guys are the best. See you next time.